Manchester United kick off their Europa League campaign against, round of 16 campaign against Real Sociedad away at the stadium of La Real, basically. Now, it is very important for us to note that this is a very crucial game for Manchester United, and it is very important that we win this game. From a Manchester United fan perspective, this is a very tough game to deal with. First and foremost, we're going to kind of break it down and basically, now the Real Arena in San Sebastian is the place where we face Real Sociedad in the first leg of our Europa League round of 16 tie on Thursday. Now, this is an all important tie for Manchester United after a disappointing FA Cup exit to Fulham in the Europa League, and it represents United's realistic chance for silverware this season. And it is actually also a potential route back into the Champions League. I mean, for Real Sociedad, this tie offers opportunity to continue their strong European campaign and to test themselves against Europe's most storied clubs. Now, with regards to this, we have had a couple of injury concerns as a club, basically, and with form going into this game, Manchester United versus Real Sociedad on Real Sociedad at home. In the last 5 games, Manchester United have won 2 and drawn 2 and lost 1. But the second draw is a loss actually because we lost 3-4 on penalty. And for Real Sociedad, they've lost 3 and won 2. And they have had 2 straight losses, one against Real Madrid and the other against Barcelona. Speaking of head to head, I think speaking of form guide, the last couple of games that they've played, they lost to Betis, and I think that was a game where Anthony played really well, and also they won 5-2 in the next game after that, and then 3-0 in the next game after that. I think that's in their League Cup, and then the next one was the loss to Barcelona and Real Madrid as well. So I think they beat Legia Warsaw in I mean yeah no so they beat Midtjylland in the Europa League. That's to basically beat them 5-2 to qualify for the round of 16. So yeah, pretty much what it is with regards to form guide. And then also they have had a pretty strong campaign when it comes to, Europa League as a whole in general. So, but we're going to look at a very important slide that I prepared just because I wanted to show you all like something basically. So with Real Sociedad in all competitions, 3 losses, 3 wins, and then Europa League, 3 straight wins, and 2 straight wins, but 5 wins and 1 loss in the last 6. And for Man United, it is 3 losses, 2 wins, and 1 draw. And in the Europa League, with regards to our European competition this season, we have won all 6. Won all 5 of our last 5 European League games, and we are unbeaten in Europe. The only team in the whole Europe, both in Champions League and Europa League, to be unbeaten. And basically, we also have scored 10 goals more than Real Sociedad, despite the fact that we're also having a poor season. And we have more injuries. Basically, you can see the injury list there is listed out. And then top scorers, Real Sociedad, Zubimendi is listed out there, but the rumors have been dispelled that he's going to play. And then with regards to Europa League top scorers, Manchester United has 5 with Rasmus Højlund, who has been in bad goal scoring form this season. And then their own is Odaxen, who is actually a who has actually has 4 goals this season in the Europa League. So yeah, so it all boils down to a couple of things, and for when it comes to ranking and okay, so basically when it comes to ranking, Europa League are ranked ninth in La Liga. They're ranked ninth in La Liga. Basically, as you can see, ranked ninth in La Liga to Manchester United being ranked 14th in La Liga. So it's very important that we know all of these facts to be able to prepare ourselves for what lies ahead in the game. And then I'm just going to quick show you head to head for both teams. Basically, this is head to head overall meeting. And then I think in the last 6 games, Man United have won 3 times. Both teams have drawn 2, and then Real Sociedad have won once. And I think our last victory against Real Sociedad was basically in the Europa League Group E group stage in 2022 under Eric Ten Hag. And then we lost to a controversial 1-0 win that almost cost us, our group stage. I think cost us our group stage qualification against Real Sociedad when the referee gave a handball that wasn't to be, and in that 1-0 win against Real Sociedad at home, and then we went back away and beat them in November of the same year. So it's been an interesting time for Man United against Real Sociedad in Europe overall, and even going back to even like a Champions League days. Anyway, if you haven't liked, shared, or subscribed, please do like, share, subscribe, hit notification bell so you don't have to miss anything as it relates to Manchester United. Now, United remain unbeaten in Europe as always. As I said earlier, this season with 5 straight wins in your group stage after drawing their first 3 games, basically. Domestically, Man United's form have been inconsistent, and basically with our recent 2-1 FA Cup losses, I said, highlighting ongoing issues in defense and attack. And Man United have the highest average possession, 59.2 in Europa League this season, showcasing the ability to control games, which is very important. And we seem to be doing well in Europe. And for Real Sociedad, basically, Real Sociedad finished 13th in La Liga last season and had to navigate the Europa League playoffs, where they comfortably defeated Midtjylland 7-3 on aggregate. And Real Sociedad have also been strong at home in the Europa League, winning 4 of their last 5 home games, including victories against Ajax, Dynamo Kiev, and PAOK. Now, their recent 4-0 defeat to Barcelona in La Liga exposed some vulnerabilities, which is something that Manchester United can counter or can take advantage of. With regards to head-to-head and crucial context, as I said earlier, recent meetings, United and Real Sociedad have actually faced each other 6 times in competitive matches, with United winning 3 and then drawing 2 and then losing 1. So now the last encounter, the most recent meeting, came in 2002 Europa League group stage, where Real Sociedad won Man United 1-0 at Old Trafford thanks to Barry's Mendes penalty, and United won 1-0 in Spain courtesy of Alejandro Garnacho's first senior goal. Right then, with the European record, United have never lost to a Spanish side in Europa League, while Sociedad have struggled against English teams in European competition. So it's very key that we take advantage of this, because I know it is a sad period. It's kind of typically our banter era at Man United, this period. And it's hard to take, it's hard to accept, but yeah, we're going to just have to take it with a chin and move on to the next game. And yeah, Man United have also been struggling to cope with injury crisis, basically. And it's hard. Like even in the last game, Man United still had an injury in the person of Harry Maguire, and he's racing against fitness now for that game. Now, under Ruben Amorim, as regards to how Manchester United play, Man United have adopted as usual the 3-4-2-1 formation, which emphasizes on wing backs playing like Diogo Dalot, Nusa Mazraoui, and Patrick Dogu, who eventually is back in the lineup after missing the last game due to suspension. and now he's back in the next game, and hopefully would make the starting lineup. And then we have basically focusing on high pressing fullbacks. United aim to win the ball high up the pitch and and transition quickly into attack. And then with regards to attacking fluidity, Amarim's system relies on fluid attacking movements and positional interchange, particularly in the front three. And that has been the issue actually with Manchester United and attack this season. It has been difficult for the attack to be fluid, except for Joshua Zirkzee, who has kind of come to form when it comes to being in attacking fluidity, having attacking fluidity in the lineup. But yeah, now we also have the system relies on on defensive solidity as well. But we have had defensive frailties as always, and the system has left United vulnerable defensively with gaps often appearing between the midfield and the defense, which is why we need a strong and attacking and intense defensive midfielder in Manuel Ugarte. Now, Real Sociedad, how they play basically under Emmanuel Alguacil, Real Sociedad employ a possession-based dynamic style focusing on fluid build up, and Real Sociedad actually prioritize on ball retention and patient build up play, often rotating players in midfield and attack to create overloads. And then they also have passing and counter passing, pressing and counter pressing rather. They press high to win the ball back and quickly disrupt opponents' rhythm. And then with defensive solidity, Real Sociedad are well organized at the back with a compact defensive shape that makes them difficult to break down. So I see a game where Manchester United basically presses Real Sociedad in their box, and then Real Sociedad try to counter, or Real Sociedad have possession and Man United try to counter. But we also need runners to do that. But I'm predicting that Real Sociedad will not, Ruben Amorim might not necessarily use runners in this game. But let's see. For predicted lineup for Real Sociedad, we will go with this lineup. So Ramiro in net for them, and then we have Zubildia. We have Zubildia for them as well, and then we also have Elustondo in defense, and then Lopez at the left back position. We have Arumburu on the right back position, and then Zubimendi, their key player, who has been a target for both Liverpool and Arsenal this season. And it was said that, or rumored that, Arsenal has reached an agreement with Zubimendi to join them in the summer. But we will never know until we get to the transfer window, right? And then the next one is because they play in a 4-1-4-1 formation, and like I said, fluid midfield. So that midfield three will basically, just kind of be moving around. So they have Morin as one of the front twos or one of the double tens that they play with. And then they also have Olasa Gasti, who is also one of their attacking tens. And in this lineup, basically based on the last game that they played against Barcelona, I was thinking that instead of Gomez, it will probably be Pekefusa to play as a winger for them. So yeah, it will depend on what, because Tekofusa is also back from, I think he was suspended against in the game against Tekofusa Kubo, right? Was suspended in the game against Barcelona. So I'm looking at um, a defensive three or a midfield three of Zubimendi, Morin, and Olas Gasti, and then we have maybe Sergio Gomez plays on the right side, and then we will now go with Borengsa, who is Tekofusa Kubo instead of Borengsa, but it is what it is. And then we have Osaksen, who is their striker and their leading goal scorer for the team. So it all boils down to how they play. But I mean, Now, for key players for Real Sociedad, we will go with Martin Zubimendi. Martin Zubimendi, defensive midfielder, key to Sociedad's build-up play and breaking up opposition attack. I mean, he's 26 years of age. He's played 35 matches, 35 games, and that's pretty much 2,000, 903 minutes, basically. Apart from that, he's also had a very impactful game. He was subbed off at halftime against Barcelona. Meanwhile, they lost 4-0 to Barcelona in that game. So he was subbed off at halftime, but he has played pretty much 90 minutes the last four games. Even when they lost to Real Madrid, he played the whole 90 minutes in the Copa del Rey. And then basically he has one goal and one assist, I think, all season. So pretty much a defensive midfielder, talent, target for Arsenal and Liverpool. But I think based on reports, we might never know until the transfer window that he has been um, targeted. I mean, he has moved to Arsenal. But also with regards to other key players to watch, Take Kubo is another one. Japanese winger, Real Sociedad's most dangerous attacker, with his dribbling and creativity causing problems for defenses. And he's pretty fast and fleet-footed and all of that. I think Take was actually targeted. I think he was actually a Real Madrid player at one point, and then didn't make it. And I think he was also targeted by Barcelona. I can't remember, but I think either of those two, or he was in both, right? And then another player to watch is actually injured, and that is Mikel Oyarzabal. I mean, he's their captain, and he's a constant threat in the final third with his movement and finishing ability. But if he's available, then we might never know. But currently, as of the last time I got the update, he's actually injured. And then for Man United, for Man United, we're going to go with a starting lineup of, obviously we have no one. We basically have no one. We're going to go with a starting lineup of Andre Onana. I mean, all the other two first team goalkeepers are injured. And then we have Maguire center back. And then Lenny Yoro comes back into the starting lineup. And then we have Matthias de Ligt on the right hand side. On this graphic, I put Diogo Dalot on the left, but I think because Dogu is back and he has actually fully rested after a full game, and he's not suspended for this one because it's Europe. Dogu plays on the left, and Dalot plays in place of Mazraoui on the right, which will now mean that Mazraoui comes in the second half, and then by then he would have broken his fast, so he'll be good to play. I believe. I think he'll be sunset at the time. So it is what it is. And then for midfield, we'll go with our midfield double of Bruno Fernandes and Manuel Ugarte, and then we have Ericsson in for Garnacho, who has a knock on the knee and probably will be ready to come on in the second half to increase the speed of the game. And then Joshua Zirkzee, who also would be the only option we have in the starting lineup. And then Rasmus Højlund up top, who is the leading scorer in Europe. But and just for one to note, Chido Obi is not eligible to play for this one because he wasn't registered to play in Europe. So yeah, it's pretty much what it is. So Højlund plays this one, and we have no backup. So I believe that Ruben Amorim is going to bring in some academy graduates or some academy players to come and fill up the squad. He should bring in some kind of players to fill up the squad. So basically, Rasmus Højlund plays ahead as a striker, and then yeah, pretty much what it is. Now with team news and injuries, which I'll bring up when I'm doing the press conference review. Before that, we'll go to key player. Key player to watch for this is Bruno Fernandes. He's turned up this season back to back, like double figures all the time. He always does it. He always does it, no matter what you say, no matter what negativity comes out in the press. Bruno Fernandes always does it for Manchester United. 40 games played already, 3,189 minutes. He has no rest. Basically, has together combined 24 goals and assists. So 11 goals, 13 assists all season, right? Scored in the last game, the FA Cup, with the left foot to the bottom right hand side of the net, and then basically scored in the game against Everton to claws back and all of that. He has been playing. The 30-year-old has been playing and always been available, no matter what anybody says. But so Bruno Fernandes, key player for Man United, and then That's pretty much what it is. With regards to injuries and 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 team news, as regard when it comes to Manchester United, as I brought in the graphic earlier, which I'll probably see if I can show you. In the graphic earlier, I talked about injuries, and I said that I needed you all to see an injury list, and that is this injury list. Now, the injury list in the middle, you can see that the list is long. We have, even though Zubamendi is back, so Real Sociedad have 4 injuries. Man United have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, 9 injuries. Most probably 10 if you include a few other players. And Harry Maguire has been added to the list, 11. So it's crazy, but it's something that we have to just accept and move on and just deal with the season. I mean, we've had it similar against under Ten Hag. So Lisandro Martinez, Ahmad Diallo, Luke Shaw, Johnny Evans, Mason Mount, Kobe Menu. Basically, Harry Maguire now doubtful. Matthias Delict shoulder most probably would be available as well, but I don't know. So we'll probably have Aiden Heaven ready to come on as a sub, right? And then Patrick Dogu, as I said, is available despite domestic suspension. And Ruben Amorim hopes to have more players back for this tie. So let's see what happens, because there were some people that were supposed to come back late February and it's already March. So it is what it is. For Real Sociedad, they have their one of their players who is Asen Zakarian, who is also injured, but doubtful. Zubamendi has been dispelled. Takufusa Kubo is back from suspension, while Hamari Traore, has made a miraculous recovery from a knee injury. So, yeah, not so much with regards to, but now the question will now be, how can Manchester United win Real Sociedad? I mean, to secure a positive result in the first leg, United must control possession and use the superior average possession stats to dictate the tempo and limit Sociedad's attacking opportunities. And I think with Ericsson starting in the game, it'll probably mean for more control. And then with Dogu playing on the other side, Tokufusa Kubo cannot have any speed and intensity on him. So it'll be very important for us to tackle. And the most important thing will now be in the centre back pairing. I put Harry Maguire, but there's a high chance that Maguire might not start. It will be Lindelof. Well, it is what it is. And then we should also exploit wide areas and use pace, the pace of probably Garnacho if he starts, or just control the game to exploit spaces and the Real Sociedad to attack, and maybe the passing of Joshua Zirkzee to beat those intricate in between the lines, and then maybe use the pace of Hoyland, because Hoyland seems to be better in Europe. And then defense set pieces. Real Sociedad are dangerous in dead ball situations as well, and United must remain organized and alert. And then to take early chances as well, because we've highly scored in the first half in the last couple of games. An early goal will help settle the nerves and force Sociedad to open up, creating more opportunities for United. So if Rasmus Hojlund could finish his meal, then we should have an opportunity. And then with regards to this match is basically pivotal for both teams. But for Man United, we look to progress in Europa League, and a positive result could provide a much needed momentum and belief in Amorim's system. Basically, because even our next game is against Arsenal, top opponent, and they're also a wounded lion as well. While Real Sociedad will be desperate to continue their strong European campaign, but Man United have a stronger European campaign. And then we expect a tightly contested game with both sides looking to exploit each other's weaknesses. But for United, the key will be to remain disciplined defensively while taking advantage of the attacking opportunities. And that boils down to the back line. If Maguire is not available and Nozam Mazraoui is available, right? I mean, he's not, does have a knock from the last game as well. There's also a chance he could play a centre back, So it all depends. The lineup is a bit like iffy because of too many injuries, and we also have injury doubt. So we might know more, but this is recorded before we got any updates with regards to any injuries whatsoever. So that is what it is. Let me know your thoughts and feelings, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe as well, and hit the notification bell so you don't have to miss anything as it relates to Manchester United. Let me know your thoughts and feelings about the game. Do you think Manchester United is going to win? Do you think that Man United is going to, come short? Do you think Man United is going to progress? I mean, if we get 2 goals, I mean, there's nothing that stops us from getting 2 goals and then coming home and then just shore up our defense. I mean, we've scored goals in the past. nothing stops us from scoring now. So it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't have to miss anything as you relates to Manchester United. Take care, goodbye, and God bless.